You're listening to Spark TV, where we bring you daily interviews with real women in business at all stages. I'm your host, Danielle Lewis, and I am so grateful to have you here. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is the first time we've ever had Michelle and Sasha, our fur guest, on starting out Spark TV. Welcome, Michelle. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
That is so good. And who do we have here?
So this is Sasha. This is my little therapy assistant. She is the highlight of our practice. Yeah.
Oh my God. And she is gorgeous. For anyone who is listening, we have a little puppy with us. So cute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I am sure she's the best therapist on the team.
She is. No, there are people that definitely, I've had clients that say that they've got an appointment with Sasha rather than they've got an appointment with me. So,
Oh my God, that is
yes,
so cute.
definitely
I
the
love it.
most popular team member. I'll let her rest down here next to me on the
Oh,
couch where she does her best work.
oh my God, I love it. That is so cute. Let's start out by telling everybody who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I am Michelle. I am the owner of Wren Therapy. I provide individual and relationship therapy as well as clinical supervision in Townsville, but also online to anybody Australia-wide. And
Amazing.
I have also very exciting news as that I am launching my very first product.
Wow.
It
Oh my
was
God.
it's coming very soon. Any day now, we will be online. It is called Unstuck, and it is a card deck that is
Oh.
designed to help give people different insights to help them get unstuck from whatever problems they're experiencing. So,
Oh my God, this is so exciting. Okay, well, we have so much to talk about.
yes.
Let's start out with the first business. So,
Yep.
how did you get into this? How did you get to starting your own practice?
Yes. So the two goals that I had as a teenager was to be a therapist and to write a book. And so being a therapist, when I was at school, I thought the only pathway was psychology, and
Hmm.
my maths was not strong enough. And so I kind of thought, okay, I can't study psychology. And I went down a completely different path and did a pivot and went more into community events, event management, kind of thinking
Ah,
I still want to help people, but I want to raise money, get into more like event management. And I went down, like a lot of people do, a pretty kind of windy pathway. And that led me to work for Surf Life Saving Australia. Um,
ah,
and I was in volunteer development and really lucky enough to work on their leadership development programs.
cool.
And this brought up just my renewed energy for all things personal development. And I was like, I just love this space. And I think it kind of renewed my goals and dreams and made me go, okay, where do you want to go? And it was at that time, thank goodness, social media started kind of predicting things for us, and it sent me counseling as a different pathway to study. And I was
Ah,
like, oh my goodness, I can study, something that doesn't require maths, and there's a different
I
pathway.
didn't even know that required maths.
Yes.
Psychology required maths. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's for
Hmm.
the statistics. There's a lot of statistics in psychology. And so
Ah,
psychology actually then, now I know it's actually not the right pathway for me. I'm not necessarily interested in assessment and diagnosis and doing that sort of work. I work in a
mm.
very different way. And so counseling is actually very much the right pathway for me. And so I think I actually discovered it at the right time of life for me too. And I'm so glad for my business that I had the other work experience around project management and event management and all those things that helped to give me a lot of other skills. So I started studying counseling, uh, and my sister, we grew up in a town called Armidale in New South Wales. We both left as soon as as soon as we could. When we were 18, it's very, very cold, and we traveled to different places, ended up in Sydney. But then my sister had gone on a trip around Australia and ended up back in Armidale. And she was trying to convince me to move back, but I was like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. But then she's a graphic designer and she happened to rent a space of a counselor's office. And
Oh,
she was
wow.
like, you should just meet her and talk all things counseling and, see where it leads. And so I started with I went for a holiday, met up with, her name was Matty, for a coffee, and she offered me a really good opportunity. She said, you can join the business as an associate. You can get your
Hmm.
work experience done at the same time, but you're also
Ah,
developing your business. And so that was really my entry point into business. I was then
that's
an
so cool.
associate.
Wow.
Um, and so for 2 years while I was doing my final, the bachelor, and doing my work experience, I was working for her. And then I just handed in my last assignment. And Addie called me and said, can you come and meet me? I need to talk to you about something. And we met at the office, and then we were walking up for another coffee chat. And she told me, I've decided to close the business and move away. And just as she said that, this blue wren came and sat on the fence next to me. And I
Wow.
looked at it, and I had just read the book Boy Swallows Universe. And I went,
Wow.
your end is a blue wren. And it just like popped into my head. And then, yeah, and so I was kind of in this position that I'd moved there for this opportunity. I'd just graduated. I was ready to jump in, full on. And then I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And
Yeah.
so one sleepless night, and Blue Wren was born, basically. And then Blue
Wow.
Wren then became the beginning. And I decided, so that was November. Um, and then in January 2020, Blue Wren Therapy opened.
Oh,
Yes.
it's like I've got PTSD. I
Yep.
like refuse to even drink wine from 2020. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I just want to forget that year ever happened.
Yes. So yeah,
Yep,
it's a
cool.
challenging year to go into business. Um, I I was really setting myself up. I got myself a little office, and I was like, I'm a local business. It's all about face-to-face work and building up my local network. And that was
Yeah.
kind of the business model I had in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it was really, I needed to get creative from the get-go. But
And
yes.
I assume that's why now you also do video consults with all of
The,
Australia. Did that where it
well,
started?
N- Not exactly. I mean, yes and no,
Mm,
because at the time, that was yeah, I find it so ironic now. I'd say probably 40% of my business is online now.
yeah.
However, in COVID, I could not sell online to anybody.
Oh, really?
Nobody
Wow.
wanted to do it because they were all Zoomed out.
Yeah.
And I think they were in lockdown, so all the family were there. And so they're not wanting to have conversations,
Oh, of
private
course.
conversations with the whole family, or, all the flatmates or whoever.
Yep.
Um, and so it was actually at the time really, really hard. And so at the time, that's why I introduced walk and talk. And
Oh,
so I was like,
cool.
we can stand, far enough apart, we can be out in fresh air.
Yes.
And at one day, in the middle of the 2021 lockdown, I did like 25,000 steps.
Oh my God.
I
Who
went
knew
for
who knew
like
business
five
could have
walk
a
and
positive
talks.
impact? Wow.
Yeah. So I had to kind of, yeah, really adapt the business then. And yeah, but then in moving my business from Armidale to Townsville 3 years later, I
Mm.
have a lot of my Armidale clients
Yep.
that have stayed with me. And then interestingly, then you do get local or people from the surrounding areas that will use online because they think, oh, well, if I'm in Townsville, I can come in person. But
Yeah.
got those two options. So, yeah,
Yeah, and it is interesting. So, and I think it's especially in your line of work, connecting with you is, obviously one of the
absolutely.
most important things. Like, I know I was referred to a therapist at one stage, and she's in Sydney, and I was in Brisbane at the time. But I traveled a lot to Sydney. So I initially met her in person, and then
Yeah.
as COVID happened, I traveled less,
Yes.
then would just do Zoom. Then I moved to WA. But it's like you don't want to let the person go because I'm like, do you know how
Yeah.
hard it is to find a
Yeah.
good therapist or counselor or someone you actually connect with?
Yes, and so I was a bit worried because, as I say, I kind of built myself really. I couldn't sell online at the time. So when I was moving, I did have concerns. I was like, are they going to stay with me? But there were a couple that were like, oh no, I don't want to do online. But I would say the majority, once you've formed that relationship and that connection, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's the relationship that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And I'm just also like wildly fascinated by the walk and talk.
Yes.
I've totally made the assumption that, oh yeah, online, we all went online when COVID happened, but it makes so much sense that people wouldn't be comfortable having that level of conversation whilst being in a crowded space.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
walk and talk is genius. I love the like innovativeness of actually finding a solution, when
Yeah.
I would have said, "Oh yeah, just make everyone go on Zoom." Like that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. No, I had to get creative. And I think I mean, I really I actually think movement is great
Yeah.
for like being out in nature, and having the movement and walking is actually really good for I always have my best ideas when I'm walking.
Yeah.
Um, And so I was like, I actually think this will help get people kind of out of that feeling of stuckness if there's some movement and momentum. So yeah, clients really, really liked it. But interestingly, it's kind of done a flip since moving to Townsville. The I have few walk and talks.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
isn't that, and I guess that is interesting how business just evolves,
mm,
and you kind of have to meet your clients where they are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's really just shifted now to the point. And I think also um, it's quite good in a way that shifted out because unfortunately Sasha's brilliant within the office space, but she loves people, does not love other dogs, and so
Oh.
I
Yep.
can't really take her on the walk and talks because she's a little bit yappy.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. So then what was the catalyst for developing a product?
So a couple of things. I think number one, as I said at the beginning, the book has been there from forever. Love creative writing, growing up, and always just had. I think there's a lot of us that kind of go, I feel like I've got a book in me.
Yes.
Um,
I think I've been saying that for a decade now. Yeah.
yeah. um, and so I think in the beginning it was, I thought it would be a fiction. And then I was like, oh, maybe is it going to be more like memoir or bringing up some, a more personal experience? And then I realized how much of a self-help nerd I am. Like just everything that I read and listen to is all about personal development.
Mm,
And I was like, no, it is going to be a personal development book. But then the problem that I had, I was like, I want people to really be able to get the most out of this. I want them to be able to kind of read these concepts and really it to be helpful. But what I found is I listen mostly to audiobooks now, and I'll listen to those audiobooks and it will give me some insight about my current problem or my client, like a client's current problem. And I'll usually take one or two things away. And then
yeah.
I won't ever read it again because there are so many other books to read.
Yes.
And I didn't want my book to just sit gathering dust and only providing one lot of insight. And so I was trying to think of ways to make it more dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And then um, and then I just had this flash where I went, it's not a book. And originally I was like, it's not a book, it's a game. And I was like, okay, it's a game. And I used to play, my grandparents, who I'm really close to, I used to play cards with them all the time.
Ah, yep.
And I just went, it's a card game. That's what it is. It's a card game. And then as I was developing it, I was like, this actually is a little bit more like tarot. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
it's not necessarily, yeah, I've kind of thought it was a game, but then I'm like, it's still not quite a game. And so now I'm calling it a card deck. And so it's been, again, this, yep, it's evolved. And I've got it here.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh, that looks so
So
cool.
this is it.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so
It-
Unstuck has a booklet.
Excellent.
So this is my
That
book. This
counts.
is
That
it.
counts.
It does. Yes. So in
Oh.
this, the booklet provides, it has all different concepts inside it.
Mm,
And this is based on the idea that we are often all looking at our problems through, a pretty single lens. Like we're kind of keep coming back and looking at it through the same lens or through
yeah.
the same concept, and we don't really move forward when we're always kind of just, yeah, looking at it through a narrow lens. So I wanted to sort of shift perspective and help people get a lot more curious about their problems and curious about that before they move on to the how do I fix it? How do I get out? It's just like, let's understand it and apply a whole lot of different lenses. So the idea is that you hold your problem in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are 4 different cards. There is a concept card.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll flip that over, and this one has circle of concern as your concept. And then it will have the page number up the top, and you'll go to that page number and read all about the concept.
Oh, cool.
And then each has a bit of a description and then a get curious. And that will have different questions or activities or something that is specific to this concept for you to,
Mm-hmm.
a different way for you to look at your problem. Your next card you'll pick up is a question card. And this one will have a question that you need to ask in relation to your problem and that concept. So this one says, how does this concept challenge my beliefs about the issue? And so you'll, reflect on that, and then you'll move on to your action card. And this is something that will kind of get you to put it in action, do a bit of activity of some kind. And so this one here is a draw an image of the solution to the problem inspired by the concept. And then finally, we have our mystery card. And so this is just bringing in a little bit of symbolism. It's designed for whatever you like, whatever pops up, and to see if it just provides a little bit of fresh insight. This
Mm.
one is playing cards because it was the one that really brought the insight for me. And it will have things like chance and choice, strategy, hidden potential, but it's whatever it represents or means to you.
Wow.
And so that's the basic idea. But obviously, you've got these cards and concepts that you can use to, have a play and experiment and find out, what works for you.
This is so incredible. And let me just say for anyone who is listening to this, they're gorgeous as well. Like it's actually beautiful.
Thank
Um,
you.
so I can tell that you've obviously been through quite a process, not only developing the concept and how it all works in together, but also the physical product as well.
Yes, well, this is a good little time for me to give a shout out to my
Ooh.
sister.
Yes.
So my sister is my graphic designer.
Cool.
And so we have worked as a bit of a team
Oh.
to create this problem, no, this product. And so yes, she is amazing. She is behind how amazing it looks. Um,
Wow.
and yes, I couldn't have done it without her. So
Wow, that is incredible. What's her name? What's her business?
her name is Cassandra Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she is a freelancer and she just goes by Cass.
Amazing. Oh my God.
Yes.
It's so incredible when you find people that support you and support your ideas. I mean, I know a lot of us are solo business owners and we kind of have to self-motivate and, figure
Yeah.
things out on our own, but it's just so incredible when you find a person or a community or a supporter or, whatever that looks like that helps you bring that vision to life. So incredible that you have her there as well on your team.
Yes, I am very lucky.
It's so
Yeah.
good. And when do these launch? When can we buy them?
When so any the website I am hoping will come up any day now.
Oh, so
I
good.
I have a few at the moment that I am selling to my clients in session.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but any day I'm hoping that by next week it will be up and running and yes, hopefully in time for Christmas. I have taken some time off to just hopefully send some of these out to get them to people for Christmas. So
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
incredible. And by the time this episode comes out, it sounds like it's going to be live too. So we'll make sure that we have the link in the show notes so anyone can
yes.
get their hands on them. This is incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really exciting. So I've kicked my two goals now, my two
Yes.
teenage goals. So now next year I've got to come up with a whole lot of new ones.
Oh, yeah, that's, isn't that wild though, that it's like, it takes you your whole life to kind of
Yeah.
windy path, pivot, change direction, find a way through, and then you're like, oh no, I did everything I set out to. What now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a funny feeling. It is like, oh wow, okay, I better quickly find some new things to put on the bucket list.
Oh my God, I love it. But
Yeah.
also make sure that we stop and celebrate because this is absolutely incredible that you've ticked these two boxes. And how did you go about manufacturing the cards? I'm always fascinated by product-based businesses because all the stuff I do is digital.
Yes.
Yeah, how did you find that process?
So I was actually very lucky to on my morning walks with Sasha, there is a neighbor who I chat to each morning, and he actually publishes children's books.
Oh, cool.
And I told him about what I was doing, and he said, "Oh, where are you getting them printed?" And I was like, "Oh, my sister, she's graphic designer. She'll sort something out." And he said, "I've got some really good connections in China,
Oh,
if
cool.
you are keen and if you want." And and I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks. I'll see what she thinks." And then we were looking into it, and really to get the box developed, like it was kind of easy to find places that we could get the cards and things, but to actually
Mm,
get the box developed at an affordable price,
yeah.
we did find some companies in China that already kind of do boxes and do these kind of card sets. So I did use his contacts. And
Nice.
so that's probably also, it has taken longer than I thought because there's been a bit of back and forth with China and getting samples sent over, and I wasn't quite happy with the first one, and then so I needed a second sample, and it's been some back and forth, and it is also why it's taking a bit longer that I've got a lot more coming by via ship. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yep, they'll be arriving soon. So
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently waiting on a sample of something from China to
Oh,
that's kind
great.
of like a physical addition to the Spark method and program. But you're right, it takes friggin' forever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
in the world we live in, which is so like digital and immediate, and you buy something online that comes like, yeah, product-based businesses are so much more time intensive
Yeah.
than you expect. It's really interesting. It's an
Yes.
interesting, I don't know. I think people always feel like service-based businesses, product-based business, like the grass is always greener on the other side, but they all present their own challenges.
Yes, yes. So I'm learning how to integrate both.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, this is so good. I absolutely love it. Now, we are recording this episode at the end of 2025. So I'm asking everyone, what's coming up for you? What's the big vision for 2026?
So, Unstuck is part of a bigger now picture and concept that I'm also talking about, that I feel like this, I sort of see this as kind of a takeaway version of me in a box.
Yeah. Yep.
And that it's based on really the way that I do therapy. And so I'm calling that the Unstuck method.
Mm,
And I'm looking to bring this Unstuck method out in the way of workshops,
cool.
um, and to deliver workshops. They're probably going to have different avenues, like Unstuck for relationships. I'm also going to be using it because I developed it for the general public, but now I'm getting so much feedback that, and I've started using it in session, and it is
Yeah.
actually also a therapist tool. And so I am going to be also, through my clinical supervision, but also running workshops for therapists. So that's one of the big things, is wanting to bring in training and workshops. Um,
That's
and
so cool.
yeah, and I think I've got some ideas for some other products as well,
You're
but
obsessed now, aren't you?
we'll see if I can get I know what the second one is, and I'm hoping I might be able to get that out. But workshops is probably, yep, the first cab off the rank
Wow.
next year.
Oh my God, I love it so much. And now I'm interested, since we're talking about a product called Unstuck. There are a few people that I've been talking to lately as we end the year who are feeling a little stuck,
Yeah.
who are feeling a little bit like, I've just finished another year and I don't know
Mhm.
if I spent the entire year doing something that I don't really care about. What is the plan for next year? Do you have any advice for anyone who might be listening right now who's feeling a little stuck, that
Yeah,
maybe there's like a little tiny step that they might take to feel a little unstuck?
sure. I am having the same conversation again and again and again now. As I say, at this time of year, everyone is exhausted, everyone is burnt out.
Mm.
And so it is really hard when we're in this place to really get curious and to come up with like that energy when our batteries are low. So right now, I am like, do all the self-care, do what you need to just re-energize yourself. Don't feel like you have to have the answers. Don't make the big decisions yet. Get to do what you need to do to get to the end of the year. Do all the self-care, the basics. And then once you've had the rest, once you've been able to reconnect, come into the new year and buy Unstuck. And it will be what will, yeah,
I
help you with
actually
your
love
direction.
that advice. I was equally feeling stuck, and I'm about to do a big location move. And I like I'm a woman with a plan. I like a spreadsheet. I like the answers. I don't like not knowing what's happening. But I did have to kind of check myself a little bit and say, now is not the time to actually be making big decisions, life changes. You just need to get there and
Yeah,
settle and look
yeah,
after yourself and your energy, and then look at what's next.
yes.
So sometimes maybe not making decisions is a good decision.
Yeah, you have to pause. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The pause is the most important part, and yeah,
Which is also
regaining
very
energy.
hard for us overachieving business owners.
Yeah, it is. I know. Yeah, it is very
Um,
hard, but essential sometimes. Yeah.
oh, I love it. That is so good. I could talk to you all day, but I always like to wrap up these podcasts with one last piece of advice. So, reflecting on your time in business, what would be a piece of advice that you would give to another woman on her business journey?
Yeah. So I think that you should lead with your heart and not with your head. The head comes into it, but do something that you love and
Mm.
and follow your heart. Make sure you love your business, because then it's what gets you through it. If you absolutely love what you're doing, then in the hard times, it will get you through. Where I think we can get so much caught in thinking about, what makes sense, and we get so fear-based that it gets in the way. And as I say, absolutely, the head can come in for the little bits that helps how to get there, and be a bit realistic. But yeah, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, and follow the little breadcrumbs about how to make the dream come true, because it doesn't, I'm living proof it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen overnight. It can take a couple of decades to get there. But, like, I think that if you do love it, then
Oh, that
yeah.
is absolutely incredible, Michelle. I could not agree with you anymore. That is just, yeah, I love that. Leading with your heart, absolutely loving what you do, and just trying to take those next little steps. I think that's just bang on. There is no overnight success. It is just staying in the game,
Yeah.
and keeping our sanity.
Yeah.
Oh, which is very hard sometimes. Michelle, thank you so much again for sharing your story and your wisdom with the Spark community. That was absolutely incredible.
No, thank you so much for having me.
That wraps another episode of Spark TV. Shout out to Spark TV sponsor IP Australia for their amazing support of the Spark podcast and women in business. And if no one tells you today, you've got this.